The back pages are full of the argument between Klopp and Salah yesterday. He says, brilliant, isn't it? I'm not going to talk, but if I did, there'd be fire. So basically,
that was pure Jose, wasn't it?
He's ignited it, hasn't he? So, Flaming Hell, Back of the Sun.
Yeah.
Over and Out is The Observer, Bitter End in the Mail. I mean, it's everywhere, isn't it?
I mean, The Observer is very striking because they've just got Klopp just looking totally forlorn. Huge picture of him. But yeah, Sam Wallace in the Sunday Tale, angry Salah clashes with Klopp. And ultimately, it's actually quite sad because these are two club legends. Klopp is a legendary Premier League manager. He's a legendary Liverpool manager. Salah is a legendary player and, just one of the sort of, the all-time good guys. I mean, he is an absolute Liverpool legend, 210 goals in 346 games. I mean, the numbers, as well as the sort of quality of the football and just his exuberance down the right. I mean, he's fifth on the list of leading scorers at Liverpool behind, obviously, Ian Rush, Roger Hunt, Gordon Hodgson and Billy Liddell. He scored more than Gerrard, Fowler and Dalglish. These are huge legends. So look, it's a big story, and it's sad that this, the sort of noises off this issues will just almost drown out what should really be the applause. It can't completely drown out the applause of Klopp leaving, but that should really be the focus because they're not going to win the title. Klopp is leaving. Mo Salah looks like he's leaving as well. I mean, the Saudis will come in with just 100 million plus. I don't know. I mean, a huge offer for him, and you would imagine he would go.
He was clearly dropped, Salah, as well. It was interesting. Alan Shearer on Match of the Day last night, who famously was dropped by Ruud Gullit for a derby game against Sunderland, saying, well, Salah's annoyed about being dropped, and rightly so.
Yeah, I remember that. I think you were there as well.
It was very wet.
It was 2-1. It absolutely sluiced down, and we got to see the pride of the North East writing fraternity, mainly standing there in their boxes. Because it was just the weather was horrendous. Anyway, 2-1 to Sunderland, and I think the race between Alan Shearer and Duncan Ferguson to go through Ruud Gullit, the manager's door at the training ground the next day, was won by Duncan Ferguson.
And Gullit had to quit, of course.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But of course, Klopp's leaving anyway. Had Klopp not been leaving, I wonder where we'd be in this situation. Because people say, oh well, he's leaving anyway, so it probably can die down. And Klopp tried desperately to brush it under the carpet and play it down a bit, but he couldn't, could he? There was no way. It went on too long, and we want to know what's behind it.
Do you know what? We're going to get lip readers probably in the papers over the next couple of days, because that is the key thing. What did Klopp actually say to Mo Salah, or whether Salah was just simply annoyed that he wasn't starting?
Why do you think it's come to this? Because there has been from time to time tensions between them. It's not the first time he's sort of given him a cursory glance or snubbed a handshake or pushed him away a little bit, is it, over the years?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting when he walked off, Salah was quite warm with David Moyes and then just sort of almost accelerated past. I mean, this issue about his fitness, there was one moment, he was only on for 15 minutes, there was one moment when he picked up the ball and his acceleration was phenomenal. He absolutely flew past. So, look, Arne Slot's got to come in and sort all these things out. But, look, they've got good people behind the scenes, particularly now with the return of Edwards. And they will go and work on this. And they need to sort issues out like this out early. So if Mo Salah leaves, get a good sum and let him leave early, and then Arne Slot can invest the money in strengthening. I mean, you look at Harvey Elliott. Did Harvey Elliott play particularly badly on the right? I mean, he's the future. He's a terrific young player. He's not Mo Salah, but it's unfortunate for him that this has slightly overshadowed his development.
But with Salah possibly coming to the end of his time at Liverpool, only a few games to go, Klopp leaving, it's almost like you could have just held out, lads, not had this as bad, and everybody would have left and gone, fair dues, they were brilliant. But this will forever be an image of their relationship.
It's like a leaving do where it kicks off just as the buffet's arrived. I mean, you just need it, absolutely, you needed to have that sort of emotional farewell. But in a way, that narrative's been ripped up with the sort of the Europa League not working out with the title.
Not really working out, is it?
No, it's not.
What is the reason for that, in your view?
The reason, one thing I don't buy, which a few people has been suggesting, is because Klopp, made the announcement. But what choice did he have? if you are a player who is thinking, it was in mid-January, if you are a player who's thinking about his long-term future, or you're thinking getting people in, the staff have got to make plans, he can't sort of have people coming into his office and sort of almost insinuating he'll be there next season when he knows he's off. So, I mean, it was remarkable that the secret stayed a secret for, 2 months? It was always going to leak at some point. So I thought he was right to control it. He was right, and the club handled it well, and there was the emotional announcement. I think absolutely he had to do that. Why? I mean, there are two very obvious reasons. Manchester City and Arsenal. Arsenal have got this incredible momentum, don't have any particular injuries apart from Jurgen Timber, who's coming back at left back at some point. And Manchester City are just a machine. They have this muscle memory. They know what to do over the final furlongs. So that, it was always going to be a tall order. But I think Klopp, when people step back, will appreciate just what he's done, not simply for Liverpool and his emotional connection with the club, the Kop and the community, but also what he's done for English football. I mean, it's been quite fun. I know he's had a moan at referees, but he looks like a guy you would go and have a drink with or a chat with. He's quite engaging.
Somebody who gets a bit feisty after he's had a few pints.
Yeah, but...
Well, I'm just saying, don't we all? Actually, are you back on the beers now?
No, I'm not. Actually, no. I had 1.5 pint after the marathon, and it just
nearly fell over.
It nearly fell over. That's right. No.
Text coming in. Ryan says, "How is Klopp a Premier League legend, Henry? He's won the same amount of Premier League titles as Pellegrini and Roberto Mancini, and they're not legends either."
No, but look who he's up against. And okay, so you expanded out, and you would take in the Champions League as well, and you would take in getting to the Champions League. You would look at the quality of the football, the tactical innovations he's made. Look, Pep Guardiola is obviously, the numero uno, but absolutely you can't dispute Jurgen Klopp's influence, not simply on one club, but on English football over the last 8-9 years.
I was listening to Andy Goldstein the other day on Drive arguing that actually Klopp hadn't won enough for a club of this stature.
Sorry, he's up against Pep Guardiola.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.